to talk my shit again.
Yo, what it do? Your boy Cassius Cliff again, and I'm just here to talk my shit yet again. And it's Monday. It's actually Victory Monday. And I gotta say, even though things didn't go exactly how I thought it would go, we here with a dub. And on that, I'm happy with. Obviously, we're gonna get into it in a little bit, but before we move any further, I gotta say, I'm very thankful and appreciative for all the support, the eyes, the ears. Please do me a favor, do like, subscribe, comment on the YouTube. I already got those 2 videos up. I'm actually going to upload this really soon. This post-game recap. But again, thank you for all that support. But yeah, let's just go ahead and just get into it right away. We won this game. Some may say by the skin of our teeth. Some may say we got lucky. But really, a dub was a dub, 34-31 in overtime. And actually, if you look it up, Jalen Hurts has actually set another record when it comes down to 10-point deficits and actually pulling it out and getting a W. So, Jalen's definitely, he's knocking off that rust. Slowly but surely, my man is knocking off the rust. And I'm not even worried. I wasn't worried yesterday. Sure, there was moments that made me a little concerned, like most fans will probably be. But worry, never. Not at this point anyway. It's too early in the season. We got a lot of games to play, a lot more football to play. And really and truly, I'll be worried when things really start to go left. Or even we have I would say an embarrassing loss. That would probably give me more cause for concern. But let's go ahead and get into it. 34-31 in overtime, tough win. If some of you guys know, especially personally, there's this quote by a famous man, really wise man. He said, "Yeah, you let me down." And when I say, "Yeah, you let me down," I'm talking about the defense. Because I predicted 32-17. That don't look anything like 34-31. And really and truly, like I said in that last video, you really never really know how these divisional games and really the divisional rivalries and matchups can go sometimes. Clearly, styles make fights, and they gave us the best that we could handle. That was like a 12-round fight, unlike, the Canelo and Charlo fight. And this is not a boxing channel, so I'm not even going to get any further into that. But yeah, this was definitely a heavyweight match. At least it seemed like it at various points in this game. But really and truly, I'm still proud of my guys. Even though we allowed 31 points and it didn't even feel like it, we had 5 sacks in this game. And I was predicting and was anticipating a lot of pressure on the quarterback, Sam Howell. Now, again, people that know me personally or have heard me talk about the Commanders, I was not sleeping on Sam Howell. I actually gave him some respect, given that he showed some acumen at the end of last year. And really, he showed that he could be at least a viable quarterback for the Commanders, which would then possibly give us problems, give us issues. That played out yesterday in that way, in that fashion. Now, again, we had 5 sacks and we applied pressure, but we didn't really put our pressure on that run game like I thought we would. We allowed over 100 rushing yards for the game. Uncharacteristic, at least at this point for us. But hey, we're going to let it go because obviously what's most important is getting that W. Now, with allowing 100 yards on the rushing game, we didn't get any turnovers. That didn't add to our turnover differential. Good thing, though, we didn't turn the ball over ourselves. Now, staying on the defense, we found a guy that we haven't been able to find for a couple of weeks. And you know who I'm talking about. We're talking about Hassan Reddick. Right there, you see him at the left side of the D-line. And what did he do? He's able to get around that tackle and get that sack. Get his first one for the season. He finally got on the board, my man, number 7, Philly native. And it was great to see, man. I'm definitely happy and proud of the efforts that he put out and actually panned out that way. That was huge. But really, the guy that showed up that I didn't anticipate, nobody actually anticipated showing up this season or even in this game, Nick Morrow. I mean, you see right here, we had great pressure. But who cleaned it up? I mean, Sweat, he actually had a sack this game too, but it looked like he didn't give the best effort on that play when clearly Sam Howell could have, at least got the first down, if not a couple yards. But no, Nick Morrow, he didn't sleep on that. He came up, made that sack, and he actually had 3 for the game. So that's huge. That was definitely huge. We needed that. For a team to have 5 and one player to have 3, and it be your linebacker, and he's not known for rushing the passer necessarily. Hey, any way we can get it done, I'm going to take it because the dub is what's most important in the end. I'm not concerned with the extra stuff. At least I'm not an analyst, so I'm just giving my opinion, just talking my shit, and we keeping it moving per usual. And that's kind of how the defense was. Like we wasn't really affecting Sam Howell the way I thought we would. The 5 sacks again, it didn't feel like 5 sacks. At least not when I was watching the game. Y'all could comment, y'all could let me know. It definitely didn't feel that way. And all in all, these kind of plays, that sack right there, that was timely. That definitely helped us stay in the game, or keep us ahead when we clearly desperately needed to stay ahead, because the defense just wasn't doing what they needed to do, especially compared to what we did to other opponents, or really last week, what we did to what I thought would be more of a threat on the outside with the Bucks. I feel like we went against better receivers, but Terry was having his way for, I would say, some parts. Jahan put up a touchdown, even though he didn't have the best day, but we let up that touchdown on the line to tie the game at the end on Josh Jobs, and that was tough because I thought we were just going to put the game away, but obviously we went to overtime. But moving on from the defense a little bit, we're going to go to the offense. My man Smitty, he didn't have the biggest game, he didn't have the biggest numbers, but you see right here, Jalen continue to knock off our rush, taking a chance between 3 Commanders defenders, and find Smitty. And Smitty actually pinpointing the ball. That's why he made that huge catch right there. And we needed it. We were down early. Again, I told you, Jalen just set a record for getting wins with a 10-point deficit. You see the deficit right here. We desperately needed this play. But what did Smitty do? He ain't let us down. You didn't let me down. He came through, made that big catch, and that's what we needed to kind of jumpstart this offense, because up until this point, DeAndre Swift scored, and really he didn't have the biggest game either. So clearly we had to win this game through the passing game, through the air, because the running game just wasn't doing what we probably would have anticipated and expected. We had over 100 yards rushing for the game, but talking about a team that averages almost 200 up until this point. So again, those styles make fights, and the Commanders came and did what they needed to do, at least up until overtime, obviously. Now, somebody that's kind of been having, I would say, pretty good games as of late, but is yet to get on the board and get that tutty. You know what I'm talking about. Swole Batman. I got him on right now, too. Number 11. I mean, this is the first touchdown that he had. And a lot of guys, they want to talk about how AJ, all he does is run slants and go routes. And really, he can run every route in the route tree. And really, if you can see on this play with this double move, you can see that the corner actually respects it. He definitely respects it, and he's definitely not, he's not going to slack. He's definitely going to try to cover him. And he did his best. Obviously, it didn't work. And really, AJ, once he made that catch, the rest was history. It was good blocks, and he just got into the end zone. Now, the second play. Now, obviously, you can see right here, this is a close-up of the O-line, and we had great protection. But once you see as this clip develops, you'll see him get the rookie, Emmanuel Forbes, who, again, had a rough day. And when I say again, because, he mentioned in the offseason how he wanted to get his bonus back against Smitty because he allowed 250 yards. And I don't know if he allowed 250 yards himself today. I think he had a pretty decent game, at least by his standards for a rookie. But what are you supposed to do with A.J. Brown right here? I mean, too strong, too fast. He ran a good route on the double move. And again, the rest was history. And this is kind of what we've been waiting to see, because people keep saying that Jalen hasn't had that impressive game. My guy threw for 2 touchdowns, over 300 yards, 0 turnovers. We're not here to impress you. We're here to win games. After that, we leave the rest to you guys. We leave the rest to other people that want to break down videos and talk about the Eagles, or even those very critical fans. I'm here to support my team. I'm here to be unbiased, at least for the most part. I definitely try to be unbiased purely because, your eyes can't lie to you. It doesn't matter what's happening, what people try to say. The film is right there. The footage is right there. So it's hard to argue it regardless. And really and truly, AJ had a great day. We're talking about 9 catches, 175, 2 tutties. That's how you show up in a divisional matchup, especially given that AJ hasn't had the best games against the Commanders up until this point. But again, my man has something to prove, and he proved it. He definitely proved it, and I couldn't be more content, more happy, especially given that the game is on the line right here, and we needed it, bro. We needed to go up, and we were trying to put it away. But again, the defense didn't do what they need to do. But again, we're gonna clean some stuff up. Sean Desai, he definitely had a tough matchup. And Eric B, hats off, kudos to you because you had a tough week last week and you came prepared this week. And for me, when it comes to divisional opponents, I'm going to give respect purely because you don't know how these things could go any given week, any given Sunday. It just is what it is. Now, I'm going to get into a little something here that I see a lot of people complaining about, especially given that the game is on the line. It's a very tight game, nip and tuck. And I'm just going to go and get into it and show you guys what I'm talking about. This catch here that was really tough and close by Terry McLaurin. In the moment, I'm not sure if he made the catch or not. And really and truly, I'm thinking that this footage is out of bounds. Now, when they're showing the replay and they're going over it, they're not even sure themselves in terms of the ref because, as you can see here, Terry steps on his arm. Now, if you're aware of how the rules work, especially when it comes to challenging a play or it being a booth review, the best thing you're hoping for is that whichever way you want the call to go, that's what they ruled it on the field. Now, was I concerned or a little worried that it could be overturned? No, not really and truly. Why? Because I know what they called on the field. It was ruled incomplete on the outset, in the beginning. Now, based off of that alone, especially given that in order for you to overturn a call, it has to be irrefutable evidence. You can't deny it, you can't argue it. That's what that evidence needs to show you. Now, I've never gone to law school, I'm not a lawyer. I've watched suits, and that's all the credentials I have. But given that it's not irrefutable, I already knew that was going to be fourth down. So I let it be that. And I'm going to let you guys complain and cry, and that's cool. And I'm going to show you guys something that people were trying to tell me to cry about and let it go. But I'm just showing you the comparison and really the duality in this thing. This play right here, this is last year against the Commanders. Mind you, another nip and tuck game against a divisional opponent. We turned the ball over quite a bit. So I won't necessarily say that this turnover is the reason why we lost this game. But mind you, this turnover happened in a very critical point in the game, which then helped you guys finish off this game when it comes to Commanders fans. As I'm showing you right here, a blatant face mask. The guy almost has his whole hand on his nose. But what did we do? We took the L, we kept it moving. Why? Because he fumbled the ball regardless of a call or no call. You got to take your lumps. You got to take your lumps with your W's. It's as simple as that. And me being a Philly fan, I don't really care to hear you guys' complaints and cries and you're bitching and moaning. It don't do anything for me. They don't serve me, especially when I remember plays like this. That being said, we had a tough game yesterday. I got to say, yeah, I had some concerns still up to this point. And really and truly, the concerns I have after yesterday has a lot more to do with the defense and the offense. And that wasn't a concern for me up until this point, especially given that the respect that Sean Desai was giving Sam Howell as if this guy's a 2-time Pro Bowler and he's thrown for 5,000 yards. With the coverage that we were putting out there, I'm not a fan of it, not a huge fan of it. And I know that, especially with Jonathan Gannon, that was what he usually used to put out there when it comes to the soft coverages and giving these receivers these cushions. Now Sean does throw out some different looks and he does blitz more. But I don't think we should be able to take anybody lightly, divisional opponent or not. I think we should apply virtually the same kind of pressure. Obviously, you got to switch up your game plan. But if you've seen how Terry McLaurin and even Jahan Dotson has performed against us in the past, well, right now with 3 games, them as a group, even Curtis Samuels, you can't sleep on these guys. And again, we all know these players get up for these divisional matchups. So hopefully this is a lesson learned for our defensive coordinator, even Brian Johnson, our offensive coordinator. Certain plays that we had, certain calls that we had, that put us behind the 8 ball, which is why we had to win with a 10-point deficit. But again, a W's a W. We're happy with it. It's Victory Monday, and we're going to keep it moving. But again, thank you guys for the love, support. Continue to tap in. Again, like, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. Until the next one, I'm going to catch y'all.